Okay, so while we're trying to get this thing live on YouTube, I would like us to think through what are the things that should be contained in our personal year plans. I would like us to make necessary inputs, and then before we proceed, okay. So I'm going to keep the house open. So I have my 2021 year plan. Okay, so that's the project topic. So I'm going to create a description or a project wrap up of what this year plan is all about. This is okay. So for some of us that were not here yesterday, how to get to create a wrap up, or perhaps you want to create a charter proposal to this particular project. All you need to do is go to this blue region, the corresponding cell to where you want to make a description. You double click on it, then you go to notes. All right, like you see here, you go to notes, then you can type what you want to type. So I'm going to type Eburuche Banito 2021 personal plan. So I could write the description of what this plan is all about. This is a blueprint, or this is the blueprint for the set goals to be achieved in 2021. The major goals will include personal development, business, marriage and family, adventure goals, and probably, which other goal do I have? I have spiritual goals, spiritual and financial goals. Spiritual, financial, and spiritual. Okay. The plan will cover, or will run from December 2020 to December 2022. All right. So let's assume that this is just a brief of what this plan is all about. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to have that brief there. So let's assume you're setting up a plan. How will you go about the plan? What will be the major milestones in the personal development plan? What will be the major milestones in the personal development plan? Please, now, I would like us to just feel free so that we don't take all the time in creating this one. We could just use 30 minutes to create this. Then we'll use 30 minutes to look at business planning, and then we'll try to use another 30 minutes to now look at business consulting. I think that will help. So please just raise your hand and just go ahead and tell us, what do you include in your business plan? Ahmed Teniola Alade, you weren't in class yesterday. You're welcome today. Ahmed Teniola Alade, you weren't in class yesterday. You're welcome today. All right, so please, can we just go ahead? What and what should be in a personal year plan? Okay, for you, you want to start a new business, so that is going to be under business, all right? Okay. Okay, so can we just do this very fast so that we don't take all the time on this one project? Building project. Okay. Okay, so for the sake of time, let me just go ahead. All right. Getting PMP certification, that's great. Okay, so based on what we have, I'm going to design this plan in two ways. I'm going to create, I'm going to use the months as the milestones. Then I'm going to use the goals as the major things to be achieved in the milestones. I'll repeat this again. You can do your own in a reverse way. You can do your own by using the goals as the major milestone and then using the dates as what they call it now. You use the dates as your duration, right? Okay, but for me, I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to use the months as my major milestones or the phases. Then I'm going to use the things I'm to achieve in each month as the tasks, all right? So you can, like I said, you can turn your own the other way around, all right? So I have different goals, but I want to set defined times to achieve these things, right? Okay, so I'm going to start with January. So I have January, I have February. Please just follow me. I have February, I have March, I have March, I have April, I have May, I have June, I have July, I have August, I have September, I have October, I have November, and I have December. Okay, so I noted that the plan will start from December. So I'm going to go back and just add up the December that I've already stated. So I'm going to be starting December 2020. I'm going to start the plan in December 2020. And then all of these other ones will be 2-1. Okay. So let's just know that these other ones are 2-1. Okay, so all the ones are 2-1. This one is also 2-1. I think I made a mistake in the write-up I did. So I need to go and correct it. I need to go and correct this write-up to 2021 rather, because it's 1 year, not 2 years. Okay, so now let's assume that these are my major milestones, right? Now remember, or major phases. Now remember, I need to group them under the major project title. So what do? I highlight all of them. Okay, I highlight all of them and I indent. You're seeing the indent button there, right? So I indent. So automatically, what this is showing that from January 2020 to December 2021, they are all contained in the project, my 2021 year personal plan, all right? So having done that, I'm going to now pick each of the months and decide exactly what I want to do in them. All right. So majorly, I will have to add cells to each of these months. So I'm going to start from December. So on December, I'm going to add new tasks. So to add new tasks on December, I will click on January and then I will go to insert and then I'll create new tasks. Okay, so let's assume I have to do 4 things in December in preparation for the launch in 2001. So for me, basically, this is what I normally do. So for this, I'm going to do a revision of 2020 plan. After revising 2020 plan, then I prepare for 2021 planning. Then I engage in the planning. then I will review the plan, review the proposed plan. Now, just follow me, shoot. What do I need to do in review of 2021 plan? I can go to the activity attribute region and say exactly what I want to do here. So review 2020 goals and check the level of performance. Consider unmet goals and find out why they were not achieved, why they were not achieved. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing here. Now, prepare for 2021 planning. Yes, what do I need to do under the preparation? Okay, ensure to have the right information for planning. Go for counseling with your mentors, Discuss the unmet goals of 2020 with your mentors. Research and read on personal performance and achievement. So this is what I want to do here. So I click also. Okay, another thing I may also decide to do here is to pray. Okay, so I do this. So this is my personal plan, right? So don't feel bad about it. So I fast and pray. So that's good. So that's what I'm going to be doing in preparation for planning. Then in the engage in the planning, okay, part of the preparation for planning too, I need to get my notes. I need to get the 2021 diary, and other relevant tools. Okay, so if I remember anyone, I'll get back to it. So in the engage in planning, this is possibly what I would do or what I do. Number one, I'm going to decide a date to commence. Then two, I'm going to I will decide on when to commence, and then write down the major goals. Write down the major goals that I need to plan on. Major goals that require planning. And then I will okay, so I decide on the goals I want to plan on, and then I may have to write all of them down, write them down. Then I justify the goals, whether they are really needed, justify the goals, whether they are really needed or not, justify the goals, and then plan. So this is all I need to do on this. Then on the review of the goals, I want to be sure that these goals can really help me achieve. So run a review with mentor or coach, with mentor and or coach. And then after running a review, I will update the plan, and then I'm ready for launch. I'm ready for launch. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do in in December to prepare for the January that I'm going to be launching. Please remember, all of these are still under December 2020. So I'm going to highlight all of them and also indent. Now, if I don't want to include these things as don't want to include them as in the notes or attributes, I could actually create different tasks under them. Under each of these tasks, all right, I could create different tasks for them, all right. So I could actually come here and say, like here I said, I want to review 2020 goals and then check for level of performance. So I could also do the same thing. I could just insert like 1 or 2 or 3, and then I would be good to go. So the first thing I want to do here is review 2020 plans, review 2020 plans, and check all right. So I want to review 2020 plan and check for performance, right? All right, please, I want to make an important announcement. I am teaching from my house today, so you could actually get to hear my baby's cry in the background. So please forgive me. I'm going to be teaching alongside with her today. All right, so forgive me in advance. All right, thank you so much for forgiving me in advance, okay? All right, so review 2020 plan. Which other thing did I write that I'm going to do? I'm going to check for unmet goals. So I'm going to do analysis of why, or perhaps I could just leave it as it were. Now I could just stop here. Let's assume that those are that's the major thing I need to do. So I'm going to delete these tasks. Okay. So I'm still going to categorize this under revision and check performance. So I'm going to do this. All right. Now, I'm done with December. I'm done with December. So I want to go to January. Okay. So what are the possible things I want to do in January? I'm going to insert the necessary things I need to do in January. So I'm going to insert like 3 major or 4 major tasks that I need to do in January. So the first thing I need to do in January is 1, I need to consider, these are the things I will do first: fasting and prayer for the kickoff. Then after that, I'm going to do staff orientation training for the year, staff orientation training for the year, staff orientation for 2021. And then for me personally, I will read at least 1 book. Then I will necessarily have to review my plan, my goals for this. So I'm going to also include this, all of this under this. Then February, I'm going to do just the same thing in February. So February, I'm going to do probably the same thing in February. So February, I'm going to have get or start a certification program or attend a workshop or conference. So this is what I'm possibly going to be doing in February. Then in the second task, what else will I do in February? Okay, so I need to take my family out, family hangout. What else do I need to do? I need to review staff reports, staff operation report, operations report. And what else do I need to do? I need to see a mentor, see a coach or mentor. Then I will possibly review what I have. Review. Then in March, so what do I need to do in March? I hope we're all following together. So let's assume I have 5 major tasks to do in March. So the first thing is that I want to increase my revenue by 10%. Yeah, I want to increase my revenue by 10% in March. And what else do I need to do? I need to conduct a career assessment in March, and then I need to get an investment advisor, advisor or advisor. Then what else do I need to do? I need to initiate recruitment for my company. Then I also need to complete this. I need to complete this. So I need to review also, I need to review March goals. Okay, so remember I'm going to put all of these things as it were to where they belong to. I'm going to put all of this to where they belong to. So in April, I'm going to do just the same thing. Again, I decide exactly what I want to do. So in April, so I'm going to do my first quarter review and initiate second quarter plans. And then I'm going to have my second prayer and fasting. Then I'm going to visit a country, Then I'm going to, what else do I need to do in April? I need to create some network. So I'm going to create network with So let's assume I want to create network with embassies. I want to create network with parastatals. I want to have others. So you get that. Note, I will have to actually decide who and who. So I would like to meet with directors of organizations. I would like to meet with top level CEOs, and I would like to meet business executives. I would like to meet with political leaders and other high-rank individuals, high-rank individuals. So this is what I want to do by creating a network. And that means I must be ready to attend executive conferences, executive workshops, and all of that. So attend executive events. Then I'm going to review whether I am achieving or not. So review April goals and plans. So I'm going to the next here. Okay, so I've been talking to myself. Let me be sure that everybody's following me. Please, if you're following me, please, can I have you type 11 in the chat room? If no, don't type 11, type 22. If you're following me very well, just type 22 in the chat room. If you're not following me, just tell me you're not following. If you're not following, I'm sure you could see the screen. All right, so if you're following me, just type 22 in the chat room. If you're not following, type 00. And if you're not following, you tell us why you are not really following so that we can help. Okay. Okay, so it seems as though we are all following ourselves. Okay. So since we are all following ourselves, all right, since you're following me, just continue to look at the screen and try to find out the magics I'm doing around here. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Just continue to look at the screen. Thank you. Okay, so we are back to class. I'm still working on the year plan, right? So let's continue. Everybody say tutu. So thank you so much for understanding the little that I'm teaching. So I'm going to go to May. So what am I principally going to do in May? I will use May for more of personal development. So I will go for a course in May, not just a conference now, but I'm going to go for a course in May. And the course I'm going to go for in May, so I will go for a course. What else do I need to do? Now, which course do I really want to do? I could actually go ahead and highlight it. So I want to do a credit and risk management course. Okay, so this is principally what I want to do. So what else do I really want to do? So if I have any license I need to renew, so I go and renew my licenses, renew licenses. renew professional licensing. So if there's any license I need to renew, I'll renew them here. So if I need to renew my project management license and HR license and safety license, then I will do them in May. What else do I need to do in May? I'll have another family hangout in May, friends and family hangout, friends and family hangouts, family hangout in May. Then what else do I really want to do? I want to meet a mentor, and then I will close out for May. So review April plan, April goals. So I have to indent this also. Then what am I going to do in June? June, I'll principally may need to think of having a mini staff training. So mini staff training, and then we're going to do career review, career/business review, and then we check for, we have personal retreat, and then in June, I may decide to do some wardrobe work, wardrobe Jason. Then I will review what I'm doing in June. Then in July, what do I need to do in July? July is another wonderful moment. So I'll principally do more of brainstorming sessions, brainstorming and counseling sessions with team members and mentors. Then I need to start preparing, prepare for 2022 plan. Then I will start prepare for IPM conference. Then I will start, which other thing do I need to start? Okay, so I will kindly review this. And then let's say in August, what do I need to do in August? August is a fresh time. So August is a fresh time. Okay, so I'm in August. So what will I possibly do in August? What did I do last August? Okay, so I organized special forums, organized special events for youth. Then which other thing do I need to do? I think that's a major thing I need to do in August. So special events for youth, and then I will review that. So I don't want to limit myself so much. So I'm going to cancel this one. Okay, I trust we're all following, right? So in September, what do I need to do? September, I need to do more of. In September, so I need to meet conference. Conference preparation continues. Conference preparation continues. Networking continues. Networking continues. Then team meeting. Team meeting continues. Then I'll possibly review. So let me just. Okay, so what do I do in October? See now, like gradually, I've been able to fix what I need to do for each of these months. So October, what I'm going to do is relationship management. Relationship management, that's what I'm going to do. And you're going to ask me, what will I do? So I'll principally visit all the top executives, CEOs, directors, and so on. All of those people that I met in those executive conferences and executive workshops, I'll visit them. I'll communicate with them regularly. I will visit. Sorry, I'll possibly email, call, visit, email, call, and visit where necessary. Okay. Then remember, I will still, those embassies and all of that, I need to maintain them. So what else do I need to do after relationship? I'll possibly organize a meeting for my new network, So what else am I possibly going to do? What else do I really need to do? Okay, so I'll possibly initiate. No, let's leave the initiate here. So I will review this so that it won't be that cumbersome. So what will I do in November? So I'll be traveling home for Christmas. So by November, I need to start renovation, house renovation, start house renovation. Which other thing do I need to do? Then plan for charity. Plan for charity. Which other thing do I need to do? Plan for the journey. Then I will possibly review. Before I review, they initiate or increase revenue by 20%. And then finally, in December, I will start preparation for 2022. Then travel for Xmas if need be. Execute charity plan. Which other thing do I need to execute? Have family meetings. And then NDA. Yes, this has been a wonderful thing. Good and good. And then NDA will just be on its own. So somehow I've been able to create all I'm going to do from December 2020 to December 2021. All right, so I've been able to create that. But all I've just done is a schedule, and know that this is subject to expert judgment, is subject to review, is subject to updates, right? Okay, so now I'm going to use my project guide as a case just to help me out, because I will not want a situation where I will not be too sure of when I want to start. So I'm going to go to define the project. So it's going to ask me when to start. So I'm going to be starting this project by December. So by December 14th, I'm going to start. Then I will continue to step 2. Now I want you to notice that as I clicked December 14th, the time in Dixa start and finish had also changed to December 14th, right? So I'm going to continue to step 2. And I'm not working on a server, and I'm not creating any additional calendar to that. Then it's going to ask me when I'm going to work. So I'm going to be working on okay, so let's assume I work on standard. Yes, I work on standard, but in this case, I will take Saturday, Sunday to possibly rest. So I will work from 4 a.m. because it's a planning session, so it requires time. I'll work from possibly 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. Where is 9? So I'll work to 9 p.m. So I will rest. Please note, this does not mean that I'm going to be buried on just planning. I'm not going to come out. No. So, but default, this is what the calendar will look like. So every day you definitely wake up around 4, 5, and you're going to sleep around 9, 10. So that's what this calendar is typically saying. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I could decide to rest. All right. Okay. And remember, I'm working on a complete year plan. So I'm not just working on 1, 2, 3 days and then I'm off. No, I'm working on a complete year plan. So I am going to continue to step 3. And I don't have any calendar of public holiday or whatsoever in my calendar. So I will continue to step 4. And I'll possibly change this to 10 hours in a day and change this to 50 hours. And then I will possibly change this to at least 24 days or 25 days. Okay, because this is my personal plan, right? Now, if it is a default project, okay, so we'll still get to a default project anyway. So I'm going to continue to step whatsoever, and I'm going to save and finish. Now, I've already organized my tasks to what I want them to look like. So I don't really need to do that again. So what I need to do next is to schedule, right? Okay, so I have 2 options to this schedule. Is either I schedule the month or I schedule the tasks in the month. But for now, since I'm going to be doing the work monthly, I'll prefer to schedule the work by month. All right, I'll prefer to schedule the work by month. So between December and January, I have to finish the work in December before I go to January. So it's going to be a finish to start project. In fact, as a matter of fact, all projects from beginning to the end are going to be finished to start. All right, all projects from beginning to the end are like I can't jump from January to December. Okay, and I can't jump from February to March. So somehow all the tasks inside are going to be finished to start. So I'm going to have a finish to start project for all of them. Okay, so you see, this is changing. All right. Okay, but when I come here, I will now have to determine how many days it will take me to do each of these things. So for review 2020 plans and this, I could do this in 10 days. I could do it in 10 days. I could say in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to review the plan. Then preparing for 2021 planning, I could do this in 20 days. Yeah, I could do this in 20 days. Then for engaging in the planning, okay, for preparation, I could do this in 20 days anyway. For preparation to plan, yes, I could also do that in 20 days. Then for review of the proposed plan, I could do this in 1 week. So in 5 days, I should be done. Now, most of this work are actually going to be start to start. All right. They are going to be start to start. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, why I'm preparing for planning or why I'm reviewing the 2020 plan, I'm already getting the things I need to do in the 2021. So I could be writing them down. That could be my part of preparation for the 2021. And that could also be, not that it could also be, that's going to be part of my input for the planning sessions. All right. And then after I'm done, I'm going to review. So from here to here, I could say they are start to start. So I could be doing all of them at once. Then I could say engaging in the planning and reviewing the planning, I could do that finish to finish. So as I'm engaging the planning, I'm reviewing the plan and I'm getting it done, right? So I could have that. Then for the next month, I'm going to do the same thing. So I could be fasting and doing staff orientation and reading one book and reviewing the same time. So I could have all of this as start to start. And then I could have the last relationship there as finish to finish. So I'm not going to carry it to the next month. I'm not going to carry anything to the next month. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing for February. Now let's go back to this. Now in January, so my praying and fasting time is going to be for 21 days default. All right, so 21 days default. Now the staff orientation is going to take 4 weeks, which is 20 days, but in the 20 days, it's not going to be all staff orientation. So we have 2 days in each of the week, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. So that's like 5 days. Then I could take 10 days to read one book. I could take 10 days to read one book. Then I will use 1 day to review all that I've done. Okay, so that's a good one. So for starting a certification course, how many days do I want to use? I want to use maximum of 20 days for a certification course. So I have 20 days to take a course. Family hangout is going to be for 3 days. Then staff operations report, I would take 5 working days to go through all of that. Then see a coach and a mentor, I will do that in 2 days. And then review, I will do the review in 1 day. So in the same vein, I could do everything here. If I'm going to take my course online, so I could do, if report is going to be sent to me online, okay, so everything here could be start to start, but seeing a coach, I may have to do that finish to start. So I'll have to finish family. I have to finish family outing before I see a coach. So I could do that finish to start. I'll have to finish one before I go to other. Then I will do this finish to finish. All right. Okay, so I do the same thing for March. Increase my revenue by 10%. How many days will it take me to increase my revenue by 10%? So I want to do that in 20 days. So it'll take me 20 days to increase my revenue by 10%, and then conduct a career assessment. I will do that in 1 day. And then I need an investment advisor. I will take 10 days to make sure I am not getting the wrong person. Or perhaps let me take the time to make sure I'm not getting the wrong person to myself. So I take 20 days to do that. Then initiate recruitment. I will also take 20 days to do this, 20 days to initiate recruitment and all of that, planning and all of that. So review goals, I will do that in 1 day. So everything here also is going to be start to start. Then I will have to finish it here. So I could go on and on, inserting the days as to what I want, review first quarter and initiate what? Initiate, what am I initiating there? Review first quarter plans and initiate second quarter plans. Okay, so I will take I'll take 10 days to do this. Then I'll take 7 days to do this. Visit the country. The planning could take some little time. So I could take the whole of the month to do the planning and all of the preparation. Then create a network with some embassies. I could also take the whole 20 days to work on that. Attend an executive event. I need just how many events? So I need just 2 days to handle that, and then I will do this in 1 day. And I'm going to do everything as start to start, and then I will close it with a finish to start. So if I keep on doing it this way, it's going to take all the whole time. But I want to be sure that we are on the same page. I want to be sure that we are on the same page. Now, please, if we are on the same page and you are understanding what I'm doing, please, can you type 1 in the chat room? If there is a place you're not really understanding, I'm going to go to get back to you. Okay. So I'm sure by now we can all know how to now assign days and relationships to these tasks, as it were. All right. So to reduce time or to manage time, in your own time, you could fix from May to December and decide how it's going to go. Now, if you actually check something, I want you to check something here. If you check on each of the phases, you find that the phase is 20, 21, 20, 20, 20. So it's still within the standard 20 days per month. Now, if by any means I get to have 40 in any of these months, it's already an indication that my planning is not realistic. Did you get what I'm trying to say now? If I, by any way, and I say each of these, and I see in a phase like February, and I say 40 days as the total number of days that I will use in that month to work, obviously, my time is not realistic. Remember, plans need to be smart, simple and specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. That time, if I'm saying 1 month, it shouldn't exceed 30 days. In fact, it shouldn't even get to 30 days because February could be 28 or 29. All right. So it's very, very important that we have all of this in mind. Then your Gantt chart could tell you how each of these things are working. Now, I could, if you notice, you find that the relationship doesn't exist between this particular task and this particular task. So I could go back and create relationship between the last task and I could create a task relationship between review the proposed plan and this, just to create a relationship within them. So I could say both are start to start, and then I could also do the same thing here. The start to start, I could do the same thing here, just to create a relationship between the previous and the next that is coming. All right. So as I'm reviewing, it's also giving me a guide on how to plan for the next month, or how to review for the next month, right? So now I have some kind of relationship within each of the months. All right, I have some kind of relationship within each of the months. Now, I also want to show you something here. I want to show you something here. Now, if you check each of these relationships, if you check each of the tasks, you'll find that the tasks do not exceed the total project duration. Okay, the tasks does not exceed the total project duration. All right, so that's very, very important. Now, if you check 1, 2, 3, they are still under the major phase, which is this one, which is it December, right? Now, somebody could ask, but this is a phase. Yes, this is a sub phase under December. So none of the tasks here is expected to be more than the phase itself in duration. All right. Okay, so that's another important thing we need to put to mind. Okay. Now, having stated all of this, I want to now go back and now state categorically my resources that I want to spend. So let me go and create the resources I want to spend. So in the resource column, I've not really assigned anything there. So it's like I'm having a plan and I'm not willing to commit anything. So now I want to commit some resources. I will go to create a resource sheet. So I go to view, or if I want to do it in a simpler way, I may not really need to go to view. I will kindly go to resources. Okay, you're seeing where my resources are. I could go to resources. I'll click on resources, and then I will click on specify people and equipment. If I click on specify people and equipment, it will give me a sheet where I'm going to type the names of people, the names of equipment I want to engage in, right? So I could type all of them. So the first one is mentors. The second one is okay, I'm seeing something here. So for the sake of other things that are not included here, I'm going to go to the resource sheet itself. And I will show you why I'm using the resource sheet from the view. All right, so I go to view and I will click on resource sheet. Now you see on resources, we did not see maximum unit. It only stopped at standard rate. So it did not give us for cost per use, right? And I need that cost per use because I may not be paying on standard rate for most of the things I'll be doing. So what other thing do I need? I need training fees, or I need personal development budget. And then what else do I need? I need family budget, family hangout budget, have family hangout budget. What else do I need? I need those charities budget. And what else do I need? I need one of my brothers to help me in distributing the things I need to give to charity. What else do I need? I need my wife as part of the team members that will help me. Then obviously, to achieve most of the corporate goals, I need the staff. And recruitment is part of staff. Now, remember I said I need an investment advisor. Investment advisor. Okay. Okay, thank you. I need a traveling budget. I need a traveling budget. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need a traveling budget. I need a renovation budget. Renovation budget. I need engineer to discuss, engineer or architect to discuss those renovation and all of that with. What else do I need? What else do I need based on my work? What else do I need? I need books. Okay, that's part of the personal development plan. So I don't think I need that. Okay, so let's assume that this is all I need for now. So mentors, but they necessarily don't get to collect money from you, but you will really want to appreciate them. You will really need to thank them. Yes, I've included charities budget here. You really need to thank them and all of that. So let's say mentors, I'm only going to give them something out of my heart. It's not as though I'm going to pay them any amount of money. I'm going to give them something out of my heart. But please, I would like to convert these euros to Naira. Now, how do I do it? Please follow me. I'm going to go to tools. Just follow me. I'm going to go to tools and I'm going to go to options. And I'm going to change this to, Naira. Did you see how I did that? So I went to tools, I went to options, and I went to currency and I changed it to Naira. Okay. I trust everyone understood that. Okay, so I won't be paying my mentors on amount per hour or overtime rate. They are just my mentors and I can't really pay them. So I just want to appreciate them. So the appreciation may be on things I want to buy for their children or their wives, or principally them. Okay, so let's say I budget 200,000 Naira for, okay, so I have about 5 of them. So let's say I budget 500,000 Naira for them, right? Is that 500,000? Okay, so I budget 500,000 Naira for them. Yeah, that's 500. Okay, so my personal development plan. Okay, so let's leave it at 3.5 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's leave it at 3.5 million. If the money remains, we'll return it back. Family hangout budget. Oh, let's leave it at 200. 1, 2, 3. And then, okay, I mentioned wardrobe, right? Wardrobe and accessories. Family wardrobe and accessories. Okay. So family hangout, charities. How much do I really want to give to charities? Okay. Okay. Let's leave that at 1.5. Okay, let's leave that at 1.5. And then for my brothers, they are going to be part of the charity, so I'll possibly not pay them again. And then for my wife, she's also part of the charities, so I'm not going to pay her. The staff, yes, I'm going to consider staff in this case as a cost because it's not my personal work to pay them. It is the company that will pay them, so I don't need to include them here. So for my wife, I'm also going to include her as cost because I'm not going to pay her. And my brothers that I'm going to use, or my siblings that I'm going to use, I'm not going to pay them, right? So investment advisor. So let's take that I pay him 100,000 for his advice. No, 100, not 1 million. 1 0 0 1 2 3. I'll pay 100. Okay. Then traveling budget. Which country do I want to go to? So let's leave it at 5 million. 1 2 3 1 2 3. And then renovation budget, that's renovation. Leave it at 2 million. 1 2 3 1 2 3. And then the engineer I'm going to pay, I'm going to consider engineer as cost because his money will be part of the things I'm going to do in the renovation. So for wardrobe, do I really spend so much on wardrobe? Okay, so let's leave wardrobe at 100,000. Yeah. Okay, so let's assume that this is what it will look like for me. Rehabilitation budget. Yes, that's the renovation budget. Okay, so let's assume that this is what I'm going to be doing. So at the end of the day, all of these people, I'm actually paying them. Sorry, I'm just paying them one-off. Okay, I'm paying them all one-off payment. Okay, if it were to be things that I need to be paying every day, then I need to use that as standard rate or overtime rate, right? Okay, so I'm done with this. So I click done. Then I go back to my task, and then I want to assign resources to the things I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to assign people and equipment. So for the first, I'm going to be doing, I have prepare for 2021 planning, engage in planning, review the proposed budget. Okay, so I need my wife. Where is my wife? I need my wife as a major resource in this area. In fact, all of this season, I need her in this for this period. Okay, then January, fasting, staff orientation, read at least one book in a month. So I need my personal development. Plan on this. But please, I need to note something. I need to be careful on how many times I assign each of these things. Now, reading a book is part of my personal development plan. So I may possibly not assign anything to this. So what I may likely do is that I will go back to my resource sheet, since books might end up affecting how much it may give me bloated budget, and I don't want that. So I will possibly come here to say books, the books I'm going to buy. So I'm going to reduce the books from this area. So possibly, how much book do I normally buy? So let's say I am buying 50,000 book per year. So I have 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to use the 50,000 naira to buy books here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my budget or to my tasks, and then come back to resources. Then on book, I will assign I'll assign the budget for book here. So books will take care of this. But I'm also seeing something. I'm only buying one book. So that means what I'll possibly do is I'll buy all the books here. I'll buy the yearly books here. Buy the year books and read at least one book, say. So I will do that so that I don't need to, wherever I'm going to see read again, I don't really need to bother about assigning a resource to it, because the resource is already assigned here, right? Okay, then review. I will review this with my mentors, and I will review this with my mentors. So now, if I'm using review as a case, I could actually make a case and say all review will be done. I could come here and say all review will be done by or done with mentors. With mentors. So I'm not, for any time I'm going to put another review, I just know that review will be done by mentors. So I don't need to assign mentors to that review again to avoid the computer calculating another cost or review again for me. Okay. And since I want to pay them, or I just want to appreciate them for what they are doing, if I keep putting them or assigning them to any time I see review, the computer will keep calculating 200,000 or perhaps any amount I put for them there. All right. So which will affect my work. Then certification, I will, okay, so certification, I will do the personal development plan, PD plan, or PD project. So I will do that here. Family hangout, I have family budget, hangout budget, I will do that here. Staff operations report, I have staff that should be able to take care of that. So I have that. See a coach or mentor, don't worry, I'm the one to do that. Review, I already know how that will be done. Increase your revenue by 10%. All right, I also know how that will be done. The money I'm investing in this certification project is because I want to increase my revenue to 10%. So I don't really need to accrue any other cost on this. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Conduct career assessment. I'm going to need a mentor to help me do this. Okay, I'm going to need a mentor to help me do this. Okay. Investment advisor. I think I have an investment advisor somewhere. Investment advisor. Okay. So recruitment staff, we do that, and they'll be paid by the company for doing that. Review, I know who is doing that. First quarter review, second quarter, visit the country. Okay, so traveling cost, traveling budget. Okay, create an executive. Okay, so my personal development plan will also come back to this place because it's going to be part of the development I want to have. Then attend conferences. My personal development budget will also cover for attend conferences, right? Okay, so I don't want to keep duplicating things and budget will keep increasing. All right, so I'm done with the ones I've already scheduled. So here I have the resources that are going to be doing what, okay? And then I could use, remember, I could use my attributes area to describe what is happening. So for the place I am saying see coach and there is no resource, so I can go here and say resource for coach is associated with cost of review. All right, so I could say review cost or use from review and or perhaps use from mentor's budget. So I don't need to give the computer another command of calculating that all over and over again. Okay. All right. Mr. Ahmed Teniola, who is crazy girl? Hope you're not chatting with somebody privately and you are now revealing your secret to us. Mr. Teniola. Okay. Okay, so this is just a little of what I need to do, and I've done that. So with this, I can natively plan my year and work with it the way I want it to be done. So for every month, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to be spending on. Where is that renovation? I didn't see renovation again. Renovation. Okay, renovation is still down. All right. Okay, so all of the things, I just fix them where they are supposed to be. And then I think September went off. September went off. Okay, there is a place I have renovation. Is in November. Okay, so start house renovation. So I would need an architect, I would need an engineer, and I will need the renovation budget for this. All right. Okay, so somehow I'm done with my project scheduling. So I will click on done. And since I'm done, what else is remaining for me is to review what I've done. If it is what I want, then I go ahead with it. If it is not what I want, then I will come back and still review it. Okay. So I will just want to see what I've done and see how it looks like. So I come to report. I can use the report here, or I could use the report here. Anyone you wish to use, you are free to use. All right. So any of the reports you wish to go with, you are free to use. But I'm going to use the report here. So the first thing I want to do is to view what I've done. If I want to print it on a calendar and put it in front of my house, what will it look like? So this is what the work will look like on a calendar. Okay, this is what the work will look like on a calendar. So this is December 2020. These are the things I need to do from Monday 14th to Sunday 20th. I need to prepare for 2021 planning. Then all of the things will be drafted in a calendar and shown how each one will be done. Okay, they will all be drafted in a calendar and shown how each one should be done. So for the ones that are covered, you could just drag your calendar to see them exactly how they are supposed to be. Okay, if there are ones missing, you use your arrow and drag them to be sure that they are complete, so that you can see everything. And you can print this the way you want it. So all you need to do is Control P and print it the way you want it to be. All right, so I could, before I could print, I could decide to view. Let me see exactly what is there. If there are boundaries missing. Okay, so I have 8 pages to print. So you can see from here, I have 8 pages of calendar to print. So the calendar is basically going to be giving me instructions on what to do. So I have page 1, I have page 2, I have page 3, I have page 4, page 5. Okay, so that's page 8, right? So each of them will give you a review of the task and then tell you how the task is mapped in your calendar. All right. Okay. Then I can also decide to do this on a network diagram to find out how it is going to look like. So this is what my network diagram will principally look like. From what I've done, this is what my network diagram will principally look like, and I could view it in a preview. I could view my network diagram in a preview. So in a preview, it's showing me 37 pages. So I could view through each of the pages, including the ones that have. Okay, sorry. So these are the pages I need to print. And please note that these pages are continuations. Okay, they are continuations from one to another. And from after you are done with the printing of your pages, you always see the key down to tell you which of the tasks are critical tasks, which of them are milestones, which of them, each of the symbols you see in the precedence diagram or network diagram, it will tell you what each of these lines, each of these colors, what they mean. That's what the essence of this key is for. Okay, so the key will guide you on knowing which ones to focus more on per time and help you to know how to read the network diagram. And there are other graphical evaluation tools or representation tools you can use in the management of your work. All right. So I'm going to return back to Gantt chart. Gantt chart. Okay, I'm going to return back to Gantt chart. Okay. Now let's assume I want to see how much is this year going to cost me. I will click on this second report, create a project report, and I will click on the second display report, and then I will go to costing to find out how much my budget is going to be for the year. So for the year, I need about 10.8 million naira. That's what my budget is saying. Now, I want you to notice something. If you notice, it is actually counting most of those costs we registered as single costs. For instance, traveling to a country is 5 million, and here is 5 million. Start an certification program and attend workshop, conferences, and all of that. That's my personal development plan. That's 3.45 million, and that's what we have here. Then I have house renovation 2 million, and that's what I have here. Then I have a family hangout 200,000. That's what I have here. Then paying an investment advice 100,000. That's what I have here. And then for 2020. What is that? The books I need to buy 50,000, and that's what I have here. So all of the resources I've assigned have been calculated, okay, and I have the budget down. It's left for me to decide whether I want to work with this budget or not. Now, from here, you cannot say you don't know how the budget came about. From what we have seen here now, you cannot say you don't know how these budgets came about, okay, because you created them. You created this budget in the resource sheet. So if we go back to the resource sheet, we'll see these budgets as we created them. Now, the problem here is why most budgets get to be over bloated, and you begin to wonder, how is this budget like this? Is it that is underestimated or is overestimated? It could be that you are over allocating resources. So let me give you a case of resource over allocation. So let me go back to the tasks, and then I will go back to the resources. And then for everywhere I see review, I will assign a mentor to it. Remember, I'm paying these mentors, not that I'm paying them anyway, but I'm giving them something. Just look at what will happen. So let's say I assign a mentor to this. After assigning this, let's close it and go back to our report. Okay, just watch what will happen now. I'm going to display the reports, and then I want to see my budget. Okay, so it's still not capturing my mentors. So let's find out why it's so. Maybe I changed something on them. So let's go back and find out why it's not capturing that of mentors. Oh, so mentors is reading 00. So that's the problem. Mentors is reading 00. So let me change the mentors to, I am budgeting 500,000 for mentors, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's go back to reports and see what is happening on our budget right now. So I go back to budget. So now you see I have 12.3 million. So let's see how we came about 12.3 million. I have hangout, mentors. Where are mentors? Review. I have a review that mentors are supposed to take. Okay, so I have 500,000 for me. Okay, now look at it. I want you to look closely. Now, this is a case of over-allocated resources. You see, the mentors are going to review the plan as proposed. 500,000, the computer is recording that. Now, they are going to review again. Because I allocated it to them, another 500,000 is registered. Because they are going to help me in conducting career assessment, another 500,000 is recorded. But that's not what I actually meant. What I meant is I want to give them, by the end of the year, I would have invested about 500,000 on my mentor. So I have to go back to my budget and make sure, or perhaps go back to my resource allocation. So I'm going to go back to task and go back to the resources I've allocated. So I have mentors here, right? And it's only one mentors I want to have. So for any other place I have mentors, I am going to remove the mentors. So I have mentors here. Okay, so let's go back to assign people and equipment. Assign resources. So for mentors, I only want to have you one. So I have mentors here assigned. Which other place do I have mentors? Career this thing. So I have another one here for career. So I'm going to remove this one because I don't really need it. Then there is another place mentors were assigned. Let's see. Okay, so here again, mentors were assigned. So I'm going to remove it to avoid duplication of resources. Now let's go back to the report. Let's go back to budget and see what will happen. So I go back to create report and I click on budget. So now you see that it has come down. It has come down from 12.3 to 11.3. So let's go back and see if there is any replicated work again. So I have 50, 100, 200, 500, 2 million. So there is no replicated work. So this is actually what I should be working with. Okay, this is actually what I should be working with. Okay, now before I proceed, do I have any question? Like you didn't understand any area of this thing now. Now, if you want to print project documents, it's easy to print now. This is your budget. All you need to do is to print and you send it to the computer and print. So you see print there, you print and put it in your project plan. You don't need to go and have another separate Excel sheet or what have you for that. You want to print your activities for the whole budget. You go to either go to workload and create task usage. Okay, you can choose on task usage and find out all the activities that need to be done. So you see them with date on them. See the number of hours they are going to be working. All right. So you could use task usage, print your task usage, and to help you direct your project work. Okay. Or you could go to okay, so I need this only for monitoring control. So I could go to assignment. So I could also go to to-do list. Okay, I could go to to-do list. Now let's assume the task, the usage of resources. I want to see what each of these resources are doing per time. So I could choose one of the resources and then I try to run an evaluation for what this task only is to do. So let's assume you have consultants that you've designed some certain work for, and you want to clearly review whether the work you assign to them is actually what is supposed to be, like job description according to the project demand, whether it's actually what needs to be done or not. So all you need to do is click on that, sorry, let's go back. Click on assignment, to-do list, select who is to do what, and then okay it. You will get all of the person's task, the duration, when he's starting it, when he's finishing it. All right. So this is a simple illustration of what the project management, Microsoft project management can help us do. Now, before I go to talk about tracking, I wanted us to do another one. Let me hope that we'll do it. I have another class by 5, and I wanted to rest a little before 5 o'clock, but I'm seeing it's almost 4 o'clock. Okay, I just wanted to rest a little before 5 o'clock. Okay, now before I go to talking about project tracking, maybe we'll use 30 minutes from 4 o'clock to talk about starting a new business. All right, then we'll schedule it here and then do the same things. Where we'll stop, we can then continue from that at home. Maybe when we come next week, after dealing with the agile project management, we can still come back to it. We'll keep reviewing it till it becomes conversant with us so that you can use it any day, anytime. You can use it in your house. You can use it in your workplace, anyhow you want to use it, right? Okay, so, but before I continue, do I have any question? Okay, do I have any question? Please, if I have any question, if I have any contribution, anything that you don't really get, please just let me know. Feel free to raise your hand. If you really need to ask a question, feel free to raise your hand, and the floor will be open, and then you ask your question. Okay, so let me ask, was it, from the little we've done now, was it simple enough? Have you been able to understand to the point we are? Yes or no? Was it simple enough to understand? Yes or no? Using the small, the simple year plan, was it easy for us to understand? Yes or no? So I'm seeing some yes in the chat room. Okay, so somebody say yes somehow. Okay, there is a yes. Okay, so somebody said yes. Yes, it will take you time to assimilate. Okay, so if it's going to take you time to assimilate, please always use the YouTube recorded videos to cross-check in case where your understanding might not be complete. Just use the YouTube video to just go through again, watch it over and over again. I'm sure you'll be able to get some clarity. Okay, you'll be able to get some clarity. Okay. Of course, regular practice will definitely help it stick. Okay, but like I said, it's a simple software. Okay, is a very simple software. Just the way you use your Microsoft Word, it does exactly the same way this works. If you ever plan your day, if you ever write down the things you need to do in a day, you're already using Microsoft Project, just that you are not using the software, but default, you're already using it. All right. So we can do the same thing. Okay, so to make it like a regular practice, maybe for the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, you could decide to, instead of writing your plans on book and paper, you can now schedule them using the MS Project. Okay, and then print it as a guide. Okay, maybe that will help. Or maybe when you're done, you could convert it to PDF. Convert it to PDF and be viewing it on your phone. All right. Okay, quickly before 4, let's see what we can do. Okay, so question, how do we use this then to track the project we are doing? Okay, how do we use this to track, to be sure that we are going to practice, or we are going to do exactly what we have written here? So to make it simple, I will go to track. You see track here? I will go to track. Okay, I'll click on track. Then the first thing it's going to ask me is to save this work I've done now as a baseline. So this is going to be my major project work. Then I'm going to be comparing it with the updates. Remember, every now and then we'll talk about project plan updates, project documents updates, and all of that. So I'm going to save this as a baseline. Everything I'm going to do will be compared to what I am doing to this baseline. So let's save this as a baseline. Okay. So now look at this. Do you see what is written there? Say baseline saved on October 18th or 18th October 2020 by 15:55:000. Okay, so yes, I really want to save it. So I'm done. Then it said prepare to track the project, the progress of your project. So I click. Do you want your team to use project server? No. So I continue to step 2. Just follow me carefully. By the work you're doing, you already know when you have 2% complete, you know. When you have 3% complete, you know. Now, these are the parameters we can use to determine the percentage of work done. So I could track by entering the percentage of work complete. I could track by entering the actual work done versus work remaining, and I could track by always entering the hours of work done per time period. So since I'm going to be doing a time-based project, let me use tracking by time. Okay, let me track by time. So that would be easier for me to track. Okay, so that would be easier for me to track. So let's assume that I've done I've started sorry, let me open this. Review 2020 and check for. So let's assume I've already done 5 days in this review 2020 plan. So all I need to do here is bring this down to 5 days. I will subtract 5 days from what I've done. I will bring it down to 5 days. Okay. But before I bring it down to 5 days, let me leave it as it were before and save the method I want to use. Then it will say, tell me, incorporate progress information to project. Thank you so much. No, I don't need that. So now I could come back and check. Before I start, I will check something. I will go to report and I will go to view, and let me go to detail Gantt and find out what it will show me. Let me find out what okay, so I'm not seeing anything here yet. Let me go to. So if you look at what we have here, everything is still is not looking like it's being monitored, right? Okay, so now I will go back to my track. And another thing that will happen here is this, sorry, because this might not really show now. My work is going to be starting by November 14th. Sorry, yes, November 14th or December 14th. So anything I'm doing on the tracking now might not really reveal in this Gantt area. But ordinarily, when I start tracking and reporting, I will start having, if I go to track as it were, okay. So if I come to track and then I start tracking what really has been done. So the actual work here is reading 00. That's not what I'm looking at. So work done. Let's say I've done 48 hours. And then here I've done 36 hours. Let's assume. And here I've done 20 hours. Okay, so I will click on done. Okay, so for the fact that my time has not really started, it's not going to show me all of those changes I'm making right now. But I'm sure I could view those changes when I go to my visual report, and I could get some of those things. Let me know. It won't be here. Okay. Can I change the date of this thing so that I can actually get what I want to show? Let me go back and change this date. So let's change this date to, today is what? Today is 18. So let's start it today. It can be a challenge because I've already saved the baseline. Let me go back and see if it will give me what I want. Okay, so let me check whether it will give me what I'm looking for right now. So I go to multiple baseline. It's still not reflecting. Okay. Okay, so this is what I want to show. All right, so you'll find that on detailed Gantt. So now that I've changed the date to something closer, so you could see is showing me indication of work that have already started, right? So the blue ones is telling you that nothing has been done on them. The red ones are telling you either they are complete or they are in progress. So if I now go to my, what do you call it? If I go to back to the report and then go to the work in progress, I could find the ones that are really in progress. Where is that? Work in progress. Oh, there is actually a challenge here because I've already saved the baseline with December 14th. Now it's not picking up the other changes I've made. So that's why it's important before you fix a date as your start date, you really need to be sure that that's the date you really want to start. But from here, we can actually see that it is reflecting some tasks, showing you that these ones, there are work going on them. But now it's not capturing those things on the activities. So I'm trying to see if they will capture, but they are not capturing. So before you start, please be sure. So most likely the filter applied to your view report does not display any task resources Microsoft does not print. Okay, there is no data for you to print. Okay, all right. So before you actually start designing your project, please, before you fix a date or start date and saving your baseline, please be sure that that's what you want to do before you could start comparing. Before you could start changing the ones you need to compare with the baseline. Okay, if not, you could be getting the same thing I'm getting right now. Okay, all right, so this is after 4, and I want to stop here on this before we go to another one. We'll do that again together, but this time around we are going to be doing it together, and then after that we will call it a day and go and have a rest. Okay, by next week we will still review this again. By next week we'll still review this again, and in our own individual groups I would like us to review all of this. Okay, and use this to prepare our project works. Okay, use this to prepare our project works. All right, which is very, very important. All right, okay, so men and brethren, let's go to the next one, which is simply designing a business. All right, so I'm going to save this for myself. Okay, somebody's asking a question. I say, can you undo save on baseline in case of change in project start date? Yes, I think you can actually do so, but I've not really tried it before. Now there is baseline to the main project. One thing with baseline is that as soon as you create a baseline, it's not really easy to change a baseline, even from the project perspective. As soon as you create a baseline, you work towards the achievement of the baseline. Okay, as soon as you save a baseline, you work towards the achievement of the baseline. But this question, I'm going to try between now and Saturday. I'm going to find out if the software has a different view to it. But from the little of what we're seeing here, it is gradually telling us that if you create a baseline, you may have to stick to it. Okay, you may have to stick to it. Okay, all right. So let's design a business. We just have 25 minutes to do that. So we want to start a business. We want to start a business. I know starting a business should be very easy. Okay, so I'm creating a new file so that we can all create a new business. So have you created your own new file? Before we go to this, I will reserve 2-3 minutes. If there is a question, like Mr. Sylvester asked the question, if there is any other question that would give us some time to go through this thing once again, please feel free and ask. You could raise your hand to ask the question. You could put the question in the chat room so that we can all, maybe if there are areas we've not considered before, we'll start considering them. Okay. And for those of us that, okay, sitting in a spot for a long time, not easy. Okay, we'll do a project on that and find out how we can improve on it. Barrister Innocent, we'll design a project plan with MS Project on that. Okay. Okay. Okay, could there be any other thing we need to, or should we call it a day from here? If we should call it a day from here, maybe. Please, which one is 1 AK? Architect Salami. Please, which one is 1? Okay, can we do plan for 1 week? Okay, do you mean can you plan a project for 1 week? The answer is yes and no, dependent on the scope of the project. Okay, the answer is yes and no, dependent on the scope of the project. Let's take, for instance, if you're going to do a birthday, okay? If you're going to do a birthday, you don't need 1 year to plan for it. But let's assume you want to build a skyscraper. Obviously, you won't use 1 week to plan for it. Okay, Ahmed Alade said that is in project 2006. Please, what exactly is in 2016? So that we can be clear. What exactly is in 2016? Okay, so change of baseline is in 2016. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. Okay. Salami, I'm still trying to understand your question. What you're trying to say, are you trying to say, can we design a personal plan in 1 week? Let me understand that your question. Are you trying to say, can we design a personal plan in 1 week? Or is there something else I need to understand? Okay, from the look of things, it's looking like we should stop here for today and go and practice what we have.